Are you getting water inside your B series pickup truck? Are you tired of that musty smell that you smell every time you get in it? Maybe you're getting condensation on the inside of your windows when the sun comes out because there's so much water inside your pickup. All three of these describe my truck that I've had for about 20 years now. And quick backstory, I tried changing the windshield years and years ago. That didn't fix anything. This truck had a visor on the top with multiple holes that I was always concerned was causing the problem. So 2 years ago, I was going to treat the truck to at least a backyard paint job. Found extensive damage to all of this section of the truck had been replaced. Took my 6-ton hydraulic jack and some big 2x6s and forced all this stuff back into place. Removed the windshield, completely cleaned the entire seam where it mounts, and test fitted the windshield probably 20 times to get it right. Had it professionally installed, sealed up all the old holes, obviously, removed the visor. And after 4 days of rain here not too long ago, I turned on the radio, turned on my truck, and the amplifier underneath my driver's seat was popping and making lots of noise. Okay, I turned the radio off because not long after I repainted the truck, I figured I had this licked and went ahead and put in all new carpet. I bought the cheap carpet set from Rock Auto and removed all the disgusting old 30-something-year-old carpet that was in here. And it was obvious when I did that the problem was mostly in the passenger floorboard. You could see from the rust in the floor. I treated all that, no problem. But like I said here, after 4 days of rain, I reached underneath that carpet where my amp was, and there's no doubt it was damp. So was the driver's side. A day later came Hurricane Helene. And at that point, I had no option. Since this truck stays outside, like most of our trucks do, I literally removed the entire interior, pulled the brand new carpet set out, and let it dry outside for the next 3 days. Okay, I had a literal swimming pool underneath my passenger floorboard. Okay, so determined I'm gonna find out what the hell this is and get rid of this because this is ridiculous. All right. So what I did, stress test my car, have no power, so I had to go down to the creek that runs through my property here in western North Carolina, fill up gallon jugs of creek water, come up here, dump it into my cow, because there's no place else this can be coming from. I put a whole gallon in on the driver's side, and I put a whole gallon in on the passenger side. I sat here after doing that, I waited. Remember, all the carpet's out, nothing but sheet metal, floor on the bottom, a rusty looking floor. Nothing. I hear nothing, okay? I said, well, let me go get some more water. By the time I made it back with another gallon of water, drip, 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 you can hear it hitting the floor pan right here, okay? One of the problems in finding this leak is that depending on what angle you park your vehicle, if you park slightly uphill, slightly downhill, tilted to the left, tilted to the right, where that water will appear at, because I rarely ever saw it in my floor mats. Rarely. But the whole carpet was, even after the storms, there was nothing on my floor mats. Nothing. But underneath, my goodness, it was a swimming pool, like I said. So, where is this coming from? This is coming from what is your fresh air door vent for your HVAC system. Okay, it's right underneath here. Underneath here, don't bother taking the cover off because you can't access it. It's underneath another piece of sheet metal that you see here. That's why when you pour your water in, you got to pour it into this black vent area. Pouring in over here is going to bypass the problem. Underneath here, here's a piece of sheet metal. It's probably about that tall. It sits on an angle like this. That's covered with a metal screen that you can see if you look
take your blower motor off and look up through the bottom with a flashlight, you'll see that metal screen just keep big leaves and stuff out. That whole attachment here is spot welded to the piece of sheet metal underneath, and it has a flange that runs around it all the way that has to be sealed with seam sealer. Okay, you're not going to be able to access this little edge over here. It's not going to be able to reach it. But the problem is here and here that all of that seam sealer has dried up and has deteriorated, and it's just not doing any good. So all the water rushing into this cow is hitting that seam and going somewhere into your car. Okay, this is where it's coming from. Now, since you can't access it from the top, thank goodness, what looks like a strange mounting method for a wiper motor is actually an access panel to the problem area. Okay, and it's so simple to get to. Literally, all you gotta do, take loose your windshield wiper washer hose and loosen 4 bolts. Okay, the bolts don't even come all the way off. You can't even lose them. They're captive bolts. They stay with the unit. Once you take the 4 bolts off, you don't even have to unplug the electrical harness. Once you take the whole bolts off, what you're going to be doing is moving this whole unit out towards you. Okay, to make that easier, lift up the wiper arm on the driver's side at least. Okay, because this is going to cause friction, because when you pull that unit, it's going to move the wiper arms. Okay, if you're not holding a camera in your one hand, you can reach over here with your left hand, assist yourself. I might just do this with one hand. You're just gonna pull it towards you. Okay, once I pull it out, I can pull it up far enough that I can get it down here and out of my way. Okay, what you see in here, all of the black you see in here is the new seam sealer that I applied. Okay, before I apply the new seam sealer, you have to remove the old seam sealer. Take yourself like a 1/2-inch chisel, okay? Reach in here, dig all that old seam sealer off all along that lower edge, okay? That's what I did. I cleaned it off of this panel. I cleaned it off the top of that flange. You will see the edge of that flange once you clean all this out. Once you clean all that out, I took a small wire brush, scrubbed it down real good, took some paper towels and some acetone, wiped it down to clean as I could, shot a little primer in there and let it sit overnight. Alright? Once it sat overnight, came in the next day, applied my seam sealer. Okay? You gotta use seam sealer. You cannot use bathroom caulk. The temperature extremes from hot and cold and the sun and all that kind of stuff, bathroom caulk is going to last about a couple months. Then it's all going to let loose and you have the same problem again. Use seam sealer, okay? You won't have to just use your caulk gun to spread it out onto your finger and reach in here and spread that seam sealer around all along this seam. It'll be obvious, the seam, once you get all the old stuff cleaned off. Seal that up with your seam sealer. Give it 24 hours. You're not going to have any more water inside your truck. Okay? I took and poured. After I did this, I waited 24 hours. I poured 2 gallons, fast as I could pour, down into this black vent in the same position I was parked before. 2 whole gallons. And then I washed the trucks. I'm going to tell you, guys, not one single drop of water in my vehicle. Put all the carpet, all the interior back in here, and it's shocking, even only a couple days later, now when I open the door, it smells like new carpet. It doesn't smell musty anymore. This is a real simple fix that can just alleviate one of those annoying problems that, you know, sometimes turn you off on your vehicle. So, anyway, simple thing to do. Don't give up on your B-Series. One of the best trucks, most reliable vehicles ever made. I promise you. Cheap to fix, parts are available, awesome vehicles. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Thanks for watching.